welcome to our show today. It is my pleasure, like always, to introduce one of our friends, Kendra Bryan from Rival Kids, and we are going to talk about the event today. Kendra, thank you for being here and welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be with you again.
Well, good. You always are a welcome guest, and we always love having you because you bring such good information with you. Let me ask you this. How did you get involved with Rival Kids? And before that, what do you do professionally?
Professionally, I'm an accountant. I'm a numbers nerd. So I got involved with Ride for Kids through Bob's Buddies. G105 was doing this radiothon and they asked for volunteers, people to answer the phones. And I was like, I used to work at an answering service. I can answer phones.
Yeah.
And so I volunteered to answer phones. And when I did the very first radiothon, I was privileged enough to be stopped by the founder of the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, Mike Trainer. And he asked me, what do you do? And I said, I'm an accountant. He says, a numbers nerd? That's me.
Yeah.
He was like, how would you like to help us further? I was like, I would love to. He says, we do this motorcycle ride called Ride for Kids. I was like, I love motorcycles.
Yeah.
So he introduced me to the infamous Jerry Hart from Old Time Barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been locked ever since.
Well, good. And I know Jerry is a very good friend of Rival Kids, and he was very close to the late Nicholas poster child. But I know Rival Kids is dear to his heart, and you couldn't hook up with a better candidate than Jerry, and he is our buddy too. Let me ask you this: when will Rival Kids take place, and where will it be located this year?
It's going to be the same place it has been in the years past. It's going to be at Jordan Lake, right off of 64 at the White Oak Recreation Center. It'll be Sunday, May the 4th. Registration starts at 8 a.m., kickstands up at 10. They'll take a ride out to Pittsboro around the courthouse, get to wave at everybody, and come on back, have some lunch with us, and it's going to be fun.
Well, good. Do you need any volunteer? What are the volunteer jobs to do during the event?
I do still need a few more volunteers. I have some, but I don't have enough. I have places for registration, AMA greeters, people that will have clipboards and you just sign the waivers, put wristbands on, things of that nature. People to help push the flow of traffic from the parking lot up to the common area. We're going to have vendors out there, so just lots of people to be around. To help things flow properly. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah, and it rained or shine, and I know in years past the weather has been good, but I know a couple of years ago and last year it was cloudy, and 2 years ago it rained, but it still turned out to be a great day.
It is rain or shine, but last year was cold.
Yeah.
It was very cold, but we had a good time anyway. We still raised a lot of money and people still had a lot of fun.
Well, good. Now, we have Jack Carlos this year to be over every day because they don't have any other put the heavy Carlos this year.
It won't be Carlos this year, it will be Mark. So Mark will be in charge of this year's ride.
We're good. And Mark is a newcomer?
He is not. He did the ride several years ago, probably 6 years ago. So this is not his first time. He was actually here a few years back. So he knows, he's familiar with the Triangle area.
Well, good. And do we have a new poster child or a young person to take over Nicholas' spot, or is that kind of open?
It's kind of open. We have a lot of our favorite stars like Jamie Lynn and Amelia and Hannah. So we still have a lot of favorites. We just try not to show favoritism to a poster child because we have so many children.
Oh yeah, and if people want to contact you or contact maybe the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, how will they get that information?
Send me an email, kbryan77@hotmail.com, or you can go online to rideforkids.org.
Well, good. I know we have a DVD that we're going to show so people can see what we are actually talking about. And then when we see the DVD, maybe they will be really excited. But before we get there, I want to ask you, who were Mike and Diane Traynor? You mentioned Mike to begin with, but can you tell me who he was and how he became involved with Ride for Kids?
Well, Mike and Diane founded Ride for Kids about 31 years ago. They had friends who had a child that battled a brain tumor, and they watched them go through such horrific ordeals with them. And after the child passed, they wanted to know, what can we do? There has to be something we can do to help other families because there's so many people out there. 13 children are diagnosed with a brain tumor every single day. It's up from when I started with the foundation 6 years ago, it was 11 kids. Now it's up to 13 kids a day. And so their goal was to try to find a cause and cure for brain tumors by funding the research for it. And so they started a motorcycle ride in Atlanta, and Ride for Kids was born. And here we are years later, and this is our 11th annual Ride for Kids in the Triangle.
That is wonderful. And I know that they have many rides across the United States. And I know in years past, you've been involved with another one, and I think it is in Maryland or Baltimore or somewhere. And I know you are very committed, Kendra.
I am. I really, really enjoy working with the kids, and it's just so much fun. This year there will be 38 rides across the country, and this year I will probably do Richmond, Asheville, and Columbia.
Well, good. I just hope that those cities are going to be as much fun as ours, and I hope a lot of people will come out to support and volunteer and rise. When we come back from our DVD series, I want to talk more about what is going on with Ride for Kids.
Okay, sounds good.
People ride motorcycles for all kinds of reasons. For fun, for transportation, for business. At the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, we ride for the greatest reason of all, to save kids' lives. Every day, 11 more children in the U.S. are diagnosed with a brain tumor. Many of them won't survive. Ride for Kids raises millions of dollars each year for medical research and family support for children like Bailey, who was just 9 years old when her life changed forever.
You know, I told my mom and dad, I said, I see 2 mommies and 2 daddies. And so they took me to several doctors the next day, and we found out that I had a brain tumor. When something like that happens, it feels like someone's just come through your house and wrecked it.
Bailey fights for survival every day. The Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation and the Ride for Kids program have made a real difference in her treatment and recovery.
We started getting literature in, for the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. It gives you just basic knowledge of what you need to know to ask doctors, and it was on layman terms. And that's what we needed at the time, as very simple as we could get as far as us being emotionally distraught.
They're raising funds for the research, but then at the same time, they're also trying to help you get through what you're going through at the time.
In addition to family support resources, the foundation funds medical research that is both saving lives and improving survivors' quality of life.
It's important that we fund research studies that will provide treatments that will cure a child, but at the same time leave them whole in body and mind. We have been very fortunate to form a partnership with the research and the medical community in fighting this disease. We provide grant funding, they provide the brilliant minds that it takes to make these discoveries.
Ride for Kids has funded cutting-edge research around the world, including 3 Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation institutes. One of those is led by Dr. Jim Rutka at the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto.
Brain cancer is a tough one, and it's not one of those conditions that will be solved, in my opinion, overnight, but we've made steady progress. We all owe a great debt of gratitude to the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation for recognizing the importance of research, but more importantly for the Ride for Kids, where all of this money is raised across the country through dedicated volunteers who are marching out there and doing this work out in the field to make greater awareness for this problem.
Motorcyclists are making a difference in the fight against this deadly disease.
And when a child especially is in need, there's no more caring organization, caring group of people than the motorcyclist. And I sincerely believe that everyone who attends a Ride for Kids is presented with the opportunity to make a change in the world they live in, a very substantial change.
There's something about when 400 motorcycles crank up and you think about why they're all there, and you think about the difference that they're making. It really means a lot, and it's a very powerful moment.
We've never asked people to just come and get their wallets out. We've always encouraged them to bring funds from everyone around them to encourage them to be able to increase the work that we can get done. Research is a money-driven machine, and it is the money that we raise that will provide the essential research to unlock the secrets and to provide the answers.
Those answers will help children like Bailey lead longer, more productive lives.
We know that maybe 5 years from now, there's something they've probably been working on for the past 20 years. That 5 years from now can be available for her.
We're in a much better situation than we were when this began. But because we're still losing these children and the families are suffering, we still have a lot of work to do, and we can't slow down.
You can help by fundraising, volunteering, or riding in an event near you. It's an unforgettable experience, and your support will give kids like Bailey a fighting chance.
We are all in this together, and we do have each other to kind of lean on, and we have the doctors that are doing research. And if you're going to help them raise money to do research, let's do it in a fun way. Let's go out and let's get on a motorcycle. Let's just have fun raising money for that.
We appreciate the generous support of our corporate sponsors and strategic partners, but we need your help too. All brands of motorcycles are welcome. Please join us in Riding for a Reason.
I hope you have enjoyed watching that little DVD about Ride for Kids, and come out May 4th on Sunday to ride. It could be a great time. We are talking to Kendra Bryan, the task force leader. Kendra, we saw the wonderful DVD, and they were talking about, what the money were raised for. Could you tell me about where the money will stay and how does it help the foundation to rival kids?
Absolutely. The money that we raise here in the Triangle basically stays right here in this area. Duke has a Pediatric Brain Tumor Institute, so a lot of the money is going into the funding for the research. Most research projects cost about $1 million. And so the money that we raise goes towards that research. Also, portions of the money go to scholarship funds. We've given away over 1,200 scholarships for brain tumor survivors. So, we're very pleased to say we have kids that are surviving and they're going off to college. One of our locals, Julia Travis, she is a recipient and she is very proud to be a graduate of college, and she got lots of good money from the foundation because of it.
That is wonderful. And education is a wonderful thing, and everyone should be, excited to go to college or do whatever. But for brain tumor survivors, I bet they are overjoyed to receive scholarships because it means that they can continue living their life just like anybody else.
Absolutely. And it's a challenge already because they had some setbacks, because they had surgery after surgery, so maybe they've fallen behind in school. So it's like a blessing to be able to go to college and have some type of financial assistance.
That is wonderful. Like they talk about doctors, and you talk about Duke and the institute that they have. Can you tell me how many doctors actually come and participate in the rival kids, or do they just come and say, I'm Dr. So-and-so, and they are put on the program, or how does that work?
The interesting thing about the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation, Diane Traynor was fabulous with being able to network with doctors. When it comes to cancer research, doctors are very, very particular about sharing their information, because if they're going to make a major breakthrough, they want to solely be the one to do it. Whereas when it comes to pediatric brain tumors, Diane has been able to bring doctors from all across the country, from Johns Hopkins and Mount Sinai, and all over the United States, all of the different children hospitals. They come together, and it's hundreds of doctors, and they get together and they have these wonderful meetings at Duke or at Johns Hopkins, and they share their research to build the awareness, the camaraderie, and see if they can tweak and fine-tune the different research abilities that they have, and see what they can do to attack each individual type of cancer, because there's so many different types. So say today 13 kids are diagnosed with a brain tumor. There could be 13 different types of cancers. Those doctors are working to see what they can do to minimize or prevent those tumors from spreading, so these children are living longer lives.
Yeah, well, that is great to know, and that brings me to a story about one of our cousins. He was diagnosed with a brain tumor about maybe 8 years ago, and his mom and dad were very scared and didn't know what was going to happen. But I'm proud to say that the tumor is contained, and and it's not really a tumor anymore. He still has it, but they could put it, and now he is going to college, and he is living his life, and he even wants to play football again, and you know, his mom is like, you know, let's wait, but the doctor gave him a clean bill of health for now, but that is not stopping him from living like he wants to, and we are so happy because he is a great young man, and we are very proud of him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Another thing that I love about the foundation is they have a patient family service. So they have social workers on site, on staff, that will help the families as they're going through all of these things, to help them to find the proper resources so that they know you know, which avenues to take, what their options are. You know, there's someone to talk to so that those families know they're not in this alone, you know?
We were talking about family and how they are being helped, and that is an important thing. Can you tell me without revealing anybody's name or anything particular about a story that is a success story between Julia, how it is affecting somebody with a brain tumor?
Absolutely. We have several children that have brain tumor surgeries, and they may go through several series of surgeries before, you know, things are better for them. But after the fact, they have no recurrence. You know, we have stars that are now cheerleaders, playing softball, you know, playing basketball. So they go on to thrive. They live long lives, and, you know, adults, they're going to college, they're getting married, they're living healthy lives, but not everyone is so lucky, you know?
Yeah.
So the idea for Ride for Kids is to bring out all of our motorcycle enthusiasts. It's a Honda sponsored motorcycle ride, but not just Honda riders. We want everybody. So all of our Harley fans, we want to see you.
Yeah.
And the common goal is to raise the money to fund this research so that these children are able to live long, healthy lives like we are, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and that is so important because everybody wants to live healthy lives. They want to do things that they want to do. They don't want to sit on the sideline. They want to get out there and live on and on. And I'm so glad you are here to talk about that. Let me ask you this. I know that after the ride is over, and after we get through going to Pittsburgh and coming back, we have a celebration alive. Can you tell our audience what that is and how people are involved with celebrating alive?
Well, the Celebration of Life is just an event after the motorcycles come back from the ride. Our ride, we're fortunate to be served by Jersey Mike's that serves us lunch, and then we get chips and drinks, and then everybody sits down, and then all of our stars are on stage, and they get to tell their little stories, what they're thankful for, their favorite sports, their favorite subjects, but you get to get a little feel for all of the stars that are there, and they thank you for your support. And you may have a parent that may have a story that they want to share, brings tears to your eyes. It's nothing better than to see a whole bunch of motorcycle riders crying. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So, but it brings, joy to your heart. It lets you know that the purpose for you being there is to celebrate the lives of the children that are on stage.
Yeah, well, very good. I know that when we take part in listening to it, it does tug at your heart strings, but it also enlightens you to know that nothing will keep these children or young people down, because they are just like anybody. They want to just get up every day and go on and not have to worry about being sick.
The joy of getting to know these kids is that they make you realize how thankful you have to be for your life, because they don't see it as them being sick.
Yeah.
They're just, they know that there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And something has to be done. And they give you an inspiration, I complain about a lot of stuff, but I really don't have a reason to, because these kids don't complain.
Yeah.
And they have brain tumors. Like something's wrong in their head. They have to have surgery.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with my knee, and I'm scared of surgery. And these kids have they don't seem scared.
No.
They're strong fighters.
What it's like our cousin that I was talking about, he doesn't want to talk about being sick. He just wants to live his life like anybody. He wants to get up. He wants to eat, his food. He wants to go out and play, walk the dog, go to school. He's not worried about what will happen, like maybe 2 years from now. He wants to live in the moment, and that is so important. Kendra, I know I asked you this before, but we may have idea member who may not have heard you before, but do you need volunteers, and how can they get in touch with you, and what do they need to do to become a volunteer?
We do still need a few more volunteers. I have some open positions. So if you are interested in volunteering for this year's Ride for Kids on Sunday, May the 4th, please email me at kbryan77@hotmail.com. There is a volunteer training on May the 1st at 7 p.m. that you will be required to attend. So please email me prior so that you can be involved. I would love to have you out.
Well, good. I know that there is a big event. How many motorcyclists are you expected to come out this year?
I want 500 or more. So tell your friends, tell your family, get on your bikes, let's ride, let's go.
Well, good. And I know that the day of the ride, a lot of people come in and they walk up expecting to be, involved. But it's helpful for them to register before, or can you register the day of the event?
It's always helpful to register before. Go online to rideforkids.org and search for the Triangle Ride, because there are 2 rides that day. So you want to make sure that you're registering for our ride, the Triangle Ride. And it saves you time when you get on site. So that's the purpose for registering early. But you can register when you get there.
Good. And I know that on the day of the David Roll, that your task force that we are involved with. We got people the days involved mapping and making sure everything is taken care of. Can you tell again about the route and other ride from the lake to Pittsboro, and how did that come about?
Well, the Ride for Kids, this whole ordeal is done by a group of task force leaders. Neoma Flanagan and myself are task force leaders, but we have an awesome committee of people like yourself and Ken, and a few others. Roland, who is our route manager, he scopes out the route. He knows where we're going. We're going to leave from Jordan Lake. He works with the Chatham County Sheriff Department to ensure that this is a non-stop ride. All intersections will be secure by the Sheriff's Department so that we can ride all the way through Chatham County up to Pittsboro, around the courthouse and back, free flowing, no stopping. We won't have any interruptions, no cars in between, and everything is safe for us and to come back. We have our wonderful site coordinator, Ray Hatcher. He is there to make sure that everything on site is prepared. We have our tents and tables and chairs and everything in place. You know, Jerry Hart is behind the scenes making sure we have proper porta-johns and what have you. You know, we have Sally Flanagan who's working on our food to make sure that Biscuitville, you know, donates properly. So we have an amazing team. The Reeds are out there visiting all of our motorcycle dealerships. So I feel like I do nothing and my team does everything to make this wonderful day come together, and it's a wonderful event.
Yeah, well, that is not true because you really do a lot of things. Being one of the leaders because of your attitude and your encouragement, and you always do your email whenever, like today, and when we talk about the poker world, I know that when you sent the email about that today, at the end you were super excited, and that is one of your favorite sayings. But tell us about the poker run for Ride for Kids today, and I think we got another one at the end of the month. And tell people what it is and how they can get involved.
Well, we are very blessed to have wonderful organizations that like to do fundraisers for Ride for Kids. So today, the American Legion is doing a poker run, and it starts at the American Legion in Fuquay, and then the Seven Sabres are doing another poker run starting at D&Q for Jamie's Wings. One of our stars, Jamie Lynn, is a brain tumor survivor. So they're doing another poker run today. So the kickstands are up and there's motorcycles in the wind as we speak. And so that's going on. And then Ray Price's open house is April 19th. So we're going to have a Ride for Kids booth there. And then on Sunday, April 27th, we're going to have a Ride for Kids bike day. So we're going to have lots of vendors there. There's going to be good food. It's going to be at Rally Point Sports Grill in Cary on Harrison Avenue across from SAS in the same shopping center with the Bass Pro Shop. They have really good food. Their shrimp is amazing. But they're going to do a bike day for us, so we're going to do 50-50 raffles and things like that. And these are just different organizations that are willing to just do events to raise money to go towards our Ride for Kids event in May.
That is wonderful, and I hope we have a lot of participants, because when you say that about good food and a great cause, they go hand in hand. And now that you told us what the pull back store is, you know we're gonna be there hopefully because Kelly loves to go in that store. He like a little kid. But this is great about knowing the activity. Are there any activity throughout the year and not just springtime that benefit for rival kids?
Well, Jerry Hart and the Barbecue Brothers are always doing something for Ride for Kids. So I know in November they had already raised $4,000 for us. So, and I think they're involved with the American Legion's poker run today as well. So there are different organizations that put on fundraisers, poker runs, bike days, anything like that. So if you are a part of a club, chapter, organization that wants to do a fundraiser for Ride for Kids any time of the year, please contact me and I'll be more than happy to get out there and help you with whatever you need. Just email me, kbryan77@hotmail.com.
Well, I am glad that you told about the information.
Yeah.
Again, because that is so important about having volunteer contact you directly. What is the future, I think, for Ride for Kids? Because I know that we hope that one day we will have to do the brain tumor. It will be all over with. But what do you think the future may be for Ride for Kids and pediatric brain tumor validation?
Well, you know, because the research is so expensive, I think that it's going to be some time before we get everything that we need to attack this horrible disease. So for the time being, we're going to continue to do our Ride for Kids events, our motorcycle rides. The Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation has implemented a new thing this year. They are doing a thing called Starry Nights, and in select cities, they are doing walk runs. So that's another incorporation of way of fundraising for us. So right now we're doing Ride for Kids, the motorcycle ride. We have Bob's Buddies, which is the radiothon, and that is the only radiothon that we do for the foundation at this time. And then we're doing Starry Nights, so they're raising money through walk runs because people are healthier now. They're thinking healthier, so they're wanting to do walks and runs. Another form of fundraising. So I think over time we're going to do well. You know, it's going to take time. It's going to take the funds. If you think that each research project is $1 million, that's a lot of money. Yeah. So we have to raise a lot of money. Now our goal for the Triangle is $92,000 this year. So our hope is that we reach that goal.
And we probably will, if everybody will chip in and do their part. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this. When the Ride for Kids event is over, do you take a break for a little while, or do you go out the rich men, or what is your job after the Triangle ride is over?
We take a break because we are working. We are one of the first rides of the year because the ride season starts in April and the weather's funny. So we are the 4th ride of the year or 6th ride of the year. I'm not sure, but we take a break. Just kind of get the mental head back, and then I myself I go on and do the Richmond ride the first Sunday in June. And then depending on how I feel will determine if I do Asheville, Baltimore, and the Columbia ride. The Columbia ride is a new ride. So this will be the second year for it, and that's in October, so we have plenty of time to plan for that.
Yeah, I used to live in Columbia with my family, and I went back there in July that year, and so much has changed, but I'm glad that they are involved with Ride for Kids, because Columbia is a beautiful state, and I'm sure they have a lot of community people like we are to get involved. And let me ask you this, Kendra. I know that my church passed away about 4 years ago, and his wife had passed away about 2 years ago. Are there lectures going on in Atlanta, Georgia? Is there anybody taking the place in Georgia to make sure that Ride for Kids is still alive and going strong?
They have a task force in Atlanta just like they do here in the Triangle. So I don't foresee it ever going away from the Atlanta area, and they did spotlight the Starry Nights Run Walk there this year. So it's still going strong. No worries.
Good. And that is good to know, because Atlanta is such a big city, and I'm sure they have wonderful volunteers and wonderful people who are involved, and that is great to know that Mike and Diane legacy is still going strong. Let me ask you that we may have, and the more people that came in from our idea, can you do your contact information one more time so that maybe somebody could get it?
Absolutely. If you'd like to volunteer or just want to ride, want more information about Ride for Kids, just contact me, and my email address is kbryan, that's BRYAN 77@hotmail.com.
That is good. And I'm sorry to add you over and over, but I want to make sure that volunteer or backers who may watch our show can come out from May 4th, because it's really important, and I can't wait.
I know, it's going to be so fun. I'm excited.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. What do the backers and the volunteer, when they raise money, what do they get? Do they get a t-shirt? Do they get any gift or anything to show that they are involved with Ride for Kids?
Sure, there are different incentives for the level of money that you raise. So for $100, you get a t-shirt. For $300, you get a hat, and so on and so forth. So the more money you raise, the more the incentives you receive. $5,000 gets you a wonderful motorcycle jacket. I have no motorcycle, so I can't wear the jacket, but it's hot.
Yeah, I know that for a couple of years, Kelly and I raised, the first year we were involved, we raised a lot of money, and we got cool stuff, and we got our picture made with the children and couple of the of the celebrity that was there dressed as Star Wars soldier with a black, and that really sad. But you almost have to begin raising like the day after the ride, don't you?
Yeah, you do. You do.
And that is great because the more money you raise, the more feeling good that you have for yourself and you become raising it for rival kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not just about the money, it's about the feeling, and that's what it is for me. And I tell anyone, if you've never been to a Ride for Kids event, come out and join us just one time. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Yeah, I know. Kenny and I are hooked and we love it, and we are involved with media work, and we want media people to come out. And I know we have some, but they need to come out every year because I think that would be awesome, because if they can do it for other things, they need to come out and participate more than they do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're a great interest story too.
Oh yeah. And you never know who you may touch with the media. I mean, they may be an anchor or a camera person who may be going through a similar situation, but they don't want anybody to know or be important. But if they came out to Ride for Kids, you know, it may change their life.
Absolutely, and we want to raise awareness as much as possible.
That is good. Well, Kendra, I'm glad you are here. I'm sorry about my coffee.
Okay.
I just hope that the show will touch anybody and everyone. Please come back next year and tell us more, and hopefully we can get more involved with, and may get people more involved, and we may have a new update for next year. You never know that the major and wonderful could happen by next year, and that would be awesome.
Absolutely. I would love for our numbers to drop from the 13 a day back down to the 11 a day. That would be a great thing. So.
Well, thank you. And good luck today with Poker Run, and I hope you get a lot of participants and raise a lot of money.
Thank you so much.
You were good, and I hope you feel better too.
Thank you.
You were good. This is Karen Styler saying, come out Sunday, May 4th at the Jordan Lake Ride for Kids. You won't be crazy like Kendra did. You will get hooked once you come and participate. Or when I can ride driving myself, but I wasn't getting away. But I do get to ride, and I love it. And remember, don't forget to speak up, speak out within your community. We would like to thank our sponsor, and we have a new thing. We are on Facebook and YouTube. Come check us out, and remember the look and see what we are talking about. You did wonderful.